Imagine you're on a job interview for a software testing position. I walk into the room, sit down with you, and after some pleasant chit-chat, I point to the whiteboard and ask you to approach it. Imagine you see a login screen on a web page. It has a text box labeled username, another one labeled password, and a button labeled login. My question is, with this login page, how would you test it? So, how would you test this web page? What did you come up with? Hello, I'm TJ Mahar, Senior QA Engineer. I love giving this interview question. I love seeing where candidates start out and how far they can take it. Do they describe the happy path, such as simply entering a username, a password, and then stop? Or do they see that underlying the login page, there are so many more components at work? You could test the functionality of the page. What happens if you enter a valid username and password and select the login button? Does it log you into the system with the correct user type, such as an admin, super user, user, showing you the correct landing page for that section? What happens if you enter an invalid username and password? Does the error message show up in red underneath the login button, if that's how it's been designed? Or is the error message a clunky pop-up? Is the username supposed to be an email address? If so, what happens if you leave out the @ sign? Does the message tell you, the user, it actually should be an email address? If the login is an email address, does it allow the .com, .net, .edu, etc.? Does the username and password text box allow enough characters to be entered? What happens if you log in correctly and the server is down? Do you inform the user, handling the error gracefully, or is there a white page with error 404, page not found, or error 500, the database is down? You could perform browser testing. Does the login page look the same as in Chrome, Firefox, IE 11, Safari for the Mac, or with mobile Safari on the iPad or iPhone? Or how about mobile Chrome on various Android devices? You can do database testing. Does the database capture last login time for a user? If so, is that field populated with the new data? And is it stored in the requested format, such as year, month, day? You could perform security testing. When an attempt to log in fails, you probably don't want to tell someone that the username is valid, but it's the password that failed. What happens if someone attempts to enter SQL code into the username text box, such as @droptablesmember? Does the code actually get executed? What happens if someone enters JavaScript code that would throw on the screen a text box? Is there like a cross-eyed scripting error? You can do performance testing. How long does it take for the login screen to display or for the user to be logged in? What happens if there's many people attempting to log in at the same time? Are successful logins and successful failures shown in the website error logs? Are there policies such as after 5 invalid attempts that you lock the person out of the system? But you see, this is a trick question. Diving right in and testing what is there, exploring the product, that is well and good. But I'm secretly waiting for them to ask a question. What are the requirements? What I don't tell them is that underneath the login button, there's supposed to be a link labeled "Forgot Password," and it's not there. I'm also waiting for them to ask me about the design documents so they can finish the UI testing. Does the page layout match exactly what the user experience team or web designer has designed? Are you sure? This includes white space between text box, logos, design elements such as that, font sizes, font colors, checking that the text on the labels and the text and the text on the buttons match. If you don't know the requirements and don't know the design, there is no way to truly say if the product is correct or not, even for something as simple as a login page. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to this channel to get further updates. Oh, and thank you, Mabel, for this wonderful t-shirt.